John, thank you. Let's drill down a little bit more on this meeting. With me, Bruce Klingner. He's the former CIA Deputy Division Chief for Korea. And Bruce, couple questions for you. Number one, what do you, for this summit, what do you expect the president to demand?
Well, certainly CVID is the major issue, and that's really what the whole meeting is revolving around. Back in April, he said it'd be easy to just have a meeting where we claim success because establishing a relationship, but he wanted to get the nuclear weapons. I think since then we've watered down that requirement, and I think now the White House is defining success as if they establish a good relationship and have enough progress to justify follow-on summits or at least meetings and negotiations.
What about on the other side? What do you expect Kim to insist upon?
Well, I think Kim will be coming in with a big package deal. He wants denuclearization, according to North Korean terms, which are different from U.S. terms, in return for normalization of relations, easing of sanctions, and having a peace declaration or a peace treaty, which could create momentum for reducing U.S. forces on the peninsula.
Listening to the president before he left Washington last week, he was saying that he didn't have to prepare too terribly much for this meeting because this is all about attitude. I mean, what do you think is the biggest curveball he should be preparing for?
Really, there are a lot of devils in the details or road mines on the road to success here. Because the North Koreans define things differently, denuclearization for them is not unilateral disarmament, as the U.S. thought they meant, but really it's global arms control. As a self-professed member of the nuclear club, they'll go to zero when everyone else goes to zero. Even the Korean Peninsula, they define as anything that impacts or influences it, including our bombers, our strategic bombers in Guam. A peace treaty sounds good. Who can be against peace? But if you sign a treaty, it removes the basis for United Nations command, though no impact directly on U.S. forces. But it would create a mood of the war's over, why not bring the boys home from Korea?
Lastly, the words from Secretary of State Mike Pompeo saying that Trump would be leaving earlier than expected. Why would they announce that now? Do you think that that's all part of this strategy?
Well, right now we're really parsing words. I mean, we're only 6 hours away from the big game, the Singapore Smackdown. Let's get ready to rumble.
And we're parsing words. Pre-game matters, right?
Exactly. We're all making our predictions. But we're now parsing words as to whether it means it's a positive preparations or negative. So, really, we're kind of in a wait-and-see mode right now.
All right, Bruce Klingner, thank you so much. We are fascinated by the big game. As President Trump sits down with his longtime enemy, North Korea, he is hurling insults at some of America's closest allies. We'll talk about why his attacks on the Canadian Prime Minister are so unprecedented. Also,